Hi everyone, Paul at ISM. Welcome to another review. Today we've got a review of another couple of airbrushes. These are both Iwata and they're both from the High Performance Plus range. Now one's HPC Plus and one's HPB Plus. I've been a long-standing Harder Steenbeck user and recommended countless of them to people. I use them for years. I've moved over to Iwata now. I just prefer the ease of cleaning them. I prefer how they spray. It's just a personal preference, there's nothing wrong with either. So I added a few more to these to collection. And like I said, we've got the HPB and the HPC Plus here today. Now, they're very similar looking, but there is quite a bit of difference between the airbrushes. This is basically the HPCH, but without the MAC valve. That's what I'm told anyway, so as far as I'm aware it is. And this is HPB Plus. Now, there's a few different specs on the back of each airbrush which kind of explains the difference. And the HPC Plus, this is now my general all-round airbrush. I use it for priming, using UMP primer, general spray work, etc. Just run-of-the-mill stuff. Now it's a 0.3mm needle, but it's a progressive tip, so it will do the real broad pattern of a 0.3, but because it's a progressive tip, which means it has basically two tapers on the tip, one then another at the end. So that first slight bit of travel in the airbrush gives you real precise control. So this is a 0.3mm needle, 10ml colour cup. It's your standard Iwata shaped body. It's got a slightly taller trigger and it leans further forward than the B as well. You can see them there side by side. The differences, if I can get it up on top, you can see. So there is a slight difference in them, but the body for all intents and purposes is roughly the same. So 0.3 on this, it's a 0.2mm on the B, it's a 10mm colour cup on the C, and a 2mm colour cup on the B. Now they've both got the needle stops at the back, they've both got the easy reach needle chuck, so to give you that extra pull back. If you don't know that on Iwata, when you clean it out, you can pull the needle further back than the trigger does to give it a real good blast out. And like I said, they both look very similar body wise, but there is that difference. So this is more general purpose, this is more precision. So you got the smaller colour cups, you don't need as much paint. You got the 2mm needle for precise work, and that's what these are going to be used for. So if we open them up and have a quick look, typical Iwata packaging. Like I say, both same kind of packaging from the same range, just different types. So we open the C up first. Typical Iwata packaging. Very sturdy box. You got your instructions. So a quick start guide about painting, starting airbrushing, cleaning, etc, etc. It's very, very basic information. You get the airbrush, you get the needle chuck, spanner, and a tube of super lube, which is fantastic on Iwatas. Excellent. In the B, which we'll put over there as well, get the instructions, airbrush, and the same bits and bobs too. But as you can see, it's fundamentally smaller. So we get them both out, we'll have a quick look. Now the only thing that bothers me about Iwata is they don't give you a quick connect for your airbrush hose, with Harders do. So I've got my two here, which I'm going to screw on in a second when we're done. Make a little bit of room here. So there we go, there's the airbrushes side by side, the B on the top, C on the bottom. And as you can see, there are some slight differences. The trigger is a little bit lower on this one, it's not as angled far forward, smaller colour cup. Other than that, they do look identical. Now, the precise feel is there for both of them, typical of all Iwatas. You can adjust the needle tension a little bit, the trigger tension, by adjusting the barrel inside. There's a little bit of adjustment in there to allow it. The B is very, very nice in the hand. Smaller colour cup, and the position of that trigger, it's obviously aimed at more precise work, and you can get pencil thin lines with this. I would say if you're looking to get something like a custom, which is a very expensive airbrush, get something like this if you can't afford it. This is made to do very precise work as well. With that 2mm colour cup, it doesn't hold too much paint, so you're not going to be spilling everywhere, and it's a very, very nice all-round airbrush. The C, which is my workhorse, comes with a colour cup cap, the 2mm one doesn't. Again, same precise feel, bit more of a different feeling trigger on this because it leans forward a little bit and it's a bit taller. It does feel not quite Yeah, not quite, not say precise, but it definitely feels different. There's definitely a different feel there. I've been using this now for over a month. Absolutely love it. It's replaced all my harders, and that's how it's going to be now. I'm just an Iwata user. So, like I said, they've both got the cutout on the needle chuck at the end. So, like I say, you've got your normal needle nozzle travel there. Needle travel, rather. And then you get an extra bit of travel at the end. So when you clean it, you can pull back on the needle about another 5 mil or so, so quite a bit more. And that gives you a real quick blast through. Makes colour changes, very, very handy. Finish is impeccable on both of them. Absolutely beautifully finished. Flawless is done. They share the same type of needle nozzle inside, which is Iwata's typical one. So a little bit of care needed with those, because drop them on the floor, they're easily lost. And other than that, that's the main differences. Like I say, the C is made for more general work. The B is made for more precise work, so you can pick it on what you want to use it for. We'll take them into the spray booth. We'll have a little run some paint through them, have a little look, and see how they both perform. Okay, so we're over in the spray booth. What we're going to do, I've got my test plane. I call him Steve. Steve the test plane. So it's already been used plenty of times before. As you can see, we've got clear coats on there, some paint underneath. So we're just going to put some of this RLM66 down through both of them, show coverage they can do, see how precise they can spray, and see how they atomise the paint as well, and see what the difference actually are. So what I'm going to do is going to mix up. Always mix your paint in a colour cup out of the airbrush. I was terrible for mixing it in there. I did it for years. Start getting some of these cheap mixing cups from Poundland and whatnot. And then if you go online, you can grab the Sailor's grade ones fairly cheap as well. Paint mix is good as well. This Badger one's absolutely brilliant. Martin sells this as well, and it is absolutely fantastic. What we're going to do, we're going to mix a little bit of it up. We don't need a load. We're going to throw in some U&P Ultimate Thinner. Always give it a good shake before you start. No, we don't need a massive amount. Pop that in, pop that over there out of the way. Give it another mix up. Probably about a terrible noise, I know, I do apologise. It's probably about a 50-50 mix, which is fine or general spray. And if you're going to be doing fine and stuff, you can always thin it a tad more. So, like I say, for this one, we're going to use the HPC Plus. This is my general workhorse. Going to chuck in a bit of paint. We're at 24 psi on the compressor. It's a nice day, it's not too humid, not too warm, so there shouldn't be any problems when painting. So I'm going to chuck my boot on. And we're going to pick the right hand side of the wing for the CH. Now, it is glossed, so I'm not sure it's going to cover like, but we shall soon see. The coverage is great on this, it atomises the paint absolutely beautifully. No problem at all, coverage is really good. Sprays very, very nice. And the Mr. Hobby paints are fantastic as well, so if you get any paint problems with those, if you open up a bit more, put a ton of paint down, see how it sprays. Job done. So there you go, covered, no time at all. What we're going to do, we're going to put that into a holder, we're going to grab the B. This is now the B. I'll put a little bit of cleaner through. Same paint, same thinning ratios, same pressure, everything. And let's see how this thing paints differently to that one. So, it's the HPB Plus now. So the cover is absolutely fantastic. No problem at all. I would say it does atomise the paint a little bit better. It seems to be laying the paint down a tad smoother. There we go, as a general coverage. Then what we'll do is we'll come in thicker like we did with the HPC Plus. If we've got enough paint in there. There we go, she's empty. So we've got about the same level of coverage. I think the B covers ever so slightly better. It seems to atomise that paint a little bit more precisely. Very, very nice. Now the finish wasn't perfect before we started, so ignore anything of that. I was just looking at coverage. Nothing wrong with either brush, but it just does show you the level of atomisation difference. So I'm going to put some more paint in this. I'm going to put it to one side again. We're going to grab the HPC again, clear it through, and we'll try some precise work. So we'll use the blue side of this wing. No, we'll use the tail. So we'll use this side of the tail. Let's see what we can do. You guys are in shot. So I can write my name. I think the paint could do with being a tad thinner by the look of it. You get squiggles nice. So yeah, we've got good control. Consider it's a 0.3 needle, and it does have very good coverage on open fully up. You can get right down. I've written my name there and whatnot. So I think the paint could do being a tad thinner, but no problem there. So we'll switch back to the B. This is the B. We'll see what we can do. This side, let's see if we can get my name again. No problem there. The trigger controls are a lot more precise on this. You do not need to pull back at all much. There's a big difference in that trigger control. As you can see, the finer lines are easy to do. So yeah, for me, there's a definite bit of more control in this. It seems to atomise the paint a bit better as well, the general coverage. Yeah. Just going to empty both airbrushes out onto this. There we go, there's that. Grab the B, which is still quite a bit of paint in, so we'll ditch some of that out. And there we go. So I'm going to turn my boot off. We'll do have a quick look at the results and then we'll show cleaning, because that's another thing that's completely different. Because that smaller neck on the colour cup, it's going to make cleaning a bit more difficult on that B. But there's a definite difference in control. The B is a lot more precise, but easy to get very fine lines. In all fairness, the paint could have been just thin that little bit more. And it would have helped both airbrushes, but definitely struggled to get as thin a line with the C as with the B. So definitely a bit more control. Overall coverage, probably about the same for the pair of them. The B does seem to atomise the paint out a little bit better. Very comparable with the custom Micron, which is my go-to detail brush, and this thing's a world apart again from both of those brushes. So yeah, if you're looking for a general airbrush, I go for the HP C+. These are £151 from air-craft.net. If you want something for a bit more finer work, like if you've already got a basic brush, then I'd have a look at the B. A little bit more control, a little bit more precise, don't need as big a colour cup, etc. Definitely have a look at that one. For me though, my weapon of choice is the C+. This is my go-to precision airbrush, and what I've been using the B for is things like Mr. Metal Colour, the Super Metallics, bits and bobs, anything that, yeah, I don't want to go through the other airbrushes basically. So cleaning, we've got UMP's airbrush cleaner, my go-to cleaner. You can see in there the colour cup is pretty dirty, but the one thing I do love about the Iwatas is the wide neck on the colour cup. It does make cleaning an absolute doddle, and I found I used to have to strip down my Evolution every couple of weeks. This, I haven't actually needed to strip it down yet, I've just done it as a matter of course. The wide neck allows you to get a brush right down in there, right down to the bottom, no problem. To excuse my sniffing, I've got allergies, I think. They're kicking my backside today. So yeah, get the brush in, backflow it, get the majority out, give it a wipe, and that should be, there you go, probably like 90% clean. Give it another go, quick back flush, spray it away. Simple, really is easy. So that's the C, real quick and easy to clean. Now the B isn't as easy because the neck is a lot smaller. So with the brush it's not too bad, because you can get brush in there. You can't get a kitchen roll in there with your hand or your finger. So cleanup is that little bit more difficult, but if you are looking for a precision airbrush, it's definitely a worthy contender. This is where I'd now get my finger in there. I can't get it in there because it doesn't fit. So that is probably another difference as well. And we do have stealth remnants of paint in there, which airbrush cleaners dealing with quickly. Backflowing, one of the greatest things you can do for cleaning your airbrush. People will tell you, oh, don't do that, it goes up the needle nozzle, but I've not had a problem yet, especially with the Iwatas. No drama at all. And there we go, clean. Clean as a whistle. Now, like I say, I've not needed to strip any of the Iwatas down yet. I've not had a blockage or thought, oh, that needs doing. I've literally done it as a matter of routine. So they're definitely an easy airbrush to maintain, but whether you go for the C+ or the B+, they're both going to serve you well as general all-round airbrushes. To me, I go for the C+, if you're just after a general day-to-day airbrush, just because of the larger colour cup, and the wider neck on the colour cup as well. So the larger size, 10mm as opposed to 2, that makes it clean a bit easier. If you're after a more precise airbrush, go for the B. But whichever one you go for, you won't go wrong at all. They're both fantastic airbrushes. So there you go. Like I say, I'm a complete Iwata convert now, and I love these things. The B has been absolutely fantastic, but the C has been my workhorse now for a good month, and I'm absolutely loving it. A couple of the other guys I know bought them as well, and they're loving them as well. So nice to see that other people share the opinion as well. But funny thing, airbrushes, everyone thinks different. It's like PS3, Xbox, etc. Or PS4 rather, Xbox One. People have all varying differences, Mac, PC. So you're always going to get an argument over this, but for me, I prefer the Iwatas for the reasons I've stated today. And there you go. So the HPC Plus and HPB Plus, my Iwata, both available from Martin at www.air-craft.net. 155 and 151 respectively. And either one you pick, you won't go wrong. But like I say, if you're looking for more precision, go for the B. Looking for a general all-round workhorse, go for the C. There you go. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll catch you around, and I'll see you soon.